And you have this button here. This is just for pay to play. Like I said, you have to be in a members world. When you get a cat or you get a skilling pet, you can call your pet to you. Next up, prayer. So prayer in the game is very strange, actually. So up to free to play, you'll have up to here, I'm pretty sure. So you have up to Mystic Might. Oh yeah, oh, of course, you can see that I have 70 prayer level, and I don't have any of these unlocked. So as you can see, it does go up to that. So prayer, each one of these will, if you hover over it, it will tell you what it will do. So these increase your defense a little bit, increase the amount you hit a little bit, how often you hit a little bit, how often you hit and damage with range, and how often you hit and damage with magic. And they kind of scale up. So you got this set here, then you have these three with these two, then you got these three with these two here. Like we discussed before, we have the extra item on death here. This is going to help you. So I'll use this as an example. It's not in the game anymore, but there is a place called God's Wars Dungeon, which is up here. And before, I guess it still happens now, but there's a way to counter it. Before, when you used to go into this snowy area, all your stats on your account would be drained, which means literally everything. Your thieving would be drained, your cooking would be drained, all your combat stats would be drained. There's different things that do this, like even drinking like beers and stuff does this if you're trying to heal. So what this one here will do is it will restore all your skulls back to full faster, like 2 times faster. So everything in the game takes a second to be restored up 1 level, but this will make it so if it goes down, it will take 30 seconds to be restored 1 level. And also it doesn't drain your prayer that fast either. This one does it for HP only. So none of these will fix your prayer, otherwise you don't have infinite prayer into this game. So this one will help you heal your hit points and only your hit points. If you turn it on, you'll heal hit points once every 30 seconds in comparison to once every 60 seconds. And then you have the prayer points down here. So prayer is one of the skills in the game where it doesn't really matter that it's being drained. By that I mean you're always going to drain prayer points when you turn something on. As you can see, it's going to go at 68, 67. And this will never, ever refresh itself unless you drink a members item, which is a prayer potion, or you run over to an altar like over here and you pray it, and it will refill your prayer points once again. Say for instance, say this is 45 prayer, right? If I got to 44 prayer points, I'd still be able to use this. So it doesn't remove the capability of using different prayers in the game either. So that's that. A cool thing is that if you get to using these really well, these 3 here, you can stay at bosses for literally indefinitely. There's a thing in the game called prayer flicking where if you time it correctly, you can keep your prayer on top of your character. So if you turn it on and off at like a certain time period, you can keep the prayer active, but it won't drain any of your prayer points. As you can see, actually I'm doing it pretty badly here, but if I kept it on, my prayer points would have gone down, but I can stop it from going down. No, I am not there. I'm making a video. Thank you very much. So these 3 are really beneficial. When you turn them on, you will take no damage from melee, no damage from range, no damage from magic, unless you're in the wilderness where it does minus 50% damage. So there are your prayers. Basic overview. Next, you got your spellbook. So on mobile, you have the option to filter out your spellbook. So this is going to take a long time to discuss, I think. So the spellbook here is very confusing. So you're like, what's all this? Like, there's so many spells in the game. It's not too difficult, but let's explain it anyway. So you have your magic spells, which are going to deal damage, which is these strikes, bolts, blast, where's the other one? Wave, and then a recent one that was just added. Actually, it was added a year ago now, but surge. So there are your damage spells, and then you also have like other damage spells, which is like Slayer Dart, Claws of Guthix, Saradomin Strike, Flames of Zamorak, Iban Blast, So you have a few others, Crumble Undead as well, which will deal damage. But in free to play, you only really have to deal with up to Fire Blast, which is level 59 here. They all take like different skill, like runes as well. You can see the rune requirements here. Every single cast will take one of these runes. So there you go. The second one is you have spells that affect your target. So as you can see, Confuse will remove attack stats on a target. Curse will remove defense stats on a target. And Weaken will remove strength stats on a target. And then this scales up further on as well. If I can figure out where it is. Here you go. So you got Stun here, which is attack again. Where are the other ones? Vulnerability, that's the other one. And there's one more. There you go, Enfeeble. So they remove stats on a target. And then you have, here you go, you got Bind. So Bind like keeps an enemy on the ground for 5 seconds. Like they can't move whatsoever. And then this gets upgraded further on into Snare here, which holds them for 10 seconds. And then you've even got Entangle, which lasts for 15 seconds, which is amazing. You also have teleports here. Once again, they can teleport you to around the game. You have Telekinetic Grab, where you can grab something without even having to run to it. And then you have enchantments. And enchantments are only paid to play. But you can enchant things like jewelry and they'll give you special teleports to different places. That's all I'm going to explain right now in this. You can discover this in your own time, but this is a big thing in RuneScape. His spellbook here. There's also 3 other more spellbooks. There's the Ancient spellbook, which is a bunch of ancient magic. Like you freeze people, you suck blood out of them, you like lower their stats and poison them just by casting stuff on them. And it's really good for PvP. But then there's another one, there's Luna's, which is more like it helps you craft stuff, it helps you fill water veils, I should say. It helps you do a bunch of stuff. And then you have the Arceus spellbook, which is reviving the dead, but then you kill them again and you get prayer experience for doing that. This is all pay to play, by the way. And then they all have their own teleports as well, so it's really useful to have the spellbooks as well, just for teleports around the area. You have clan chat down here. So right now I'm in a clan chat. You can join any clan chat whatsoever. You can see the amount of people in the clan chat. Max people in a clan chat is 100. You can see what clan chat you're in. Like this is the one you're in. This is what it's called, so you can name it as well. And then you see all the people here, as you see. They have their ranks here, the world that they're in. You can also make your own as well and invite your friends to it. You got to click clan setup here. You can rank all of your friends. So you have to add someone as a friend to rank them. Change the name of the clan here. Who can enter? You can set this to like literally any rank. Who can talk? You can once again set this to any rank. Set this to any rank. So you can literally make it so Corporal Plus can kick people, like literally the lowest rank, which is funny. This is clans though. There's a lot of clans on the RuneScape forums if you want to go check that out. You got your friends list here, so you can add friends in the game. You can private message them as you go around the game. He's probably going to reply back now, which is really bad. But you can message your friends. You got to make sure you add each other though. Like these down here, if this is on friends, they have to have you added for you to be able to answer to reply to them. Or they won't even see your message. You won't even see them online if the private is off down here. So you need to have that on. Anything else? You can see if people have changed their names as well just by hovering over. So this means that they've changed their name recently to something different. As you can see, all these people have changed their name. If you hover over it, you can see their previous name as well. There's also the ignore list up here. Okay, I'm going to remove that just because of us making a video right now. But this is everyone you ignore as well. They cannot message you ever again in RuneScape. It's normally spammers that I just like ignore here. Because spammers, like they spam websites and stuff. You just report them and they get like automatically added to your ignore list. You have your account management tab here. You can go to the RuneScape store. You can see how many bonds you have in your account. The bonds, you buy them from the Grand Exchange for like 4.5 million. You can like transfer them to membership. It's only really for pay-to-play members. If you play this game all the time and you have enough money, you can literally buy so much membership. And you never have to pay for the game ever again, basically. And the bonds also give you other cool things like you can change your name on the game. You can on RuneScape 3 it gives you rune coins, which is like the microtransaction currency. But that's all bonds really do. There's also like there used to be special events for like RuneFest, which is like the festival for RuneScape, where you like go to London, and there used to be a thing where if you had like 80 bonds in the game, they would buy the hotel for you, they'd buy the ticket for you, you know, like there was these benefits, but they haven't been doing it anymore. Your inbox, so every time you get membership, you'll get a message. Even if you get like reported, if you get muted, you'll get a message here. This is just like the only people that will message you here is staff of RuneScape. You have the name changer here, so you can change your name. You can it's actually only available to members, but I actually didn't realize it was only available to members. But if you click this, you can check and see if if like that name is available that you want to change to. So say if I want to change my name to Legionnaire 69, I can click this, I can search for it, see if it's available, and then it'll let me change it. But you have to pay a bond, or you can change your name once for free every month, but you can skip that with having a bond as well. And they also give you some useful links down here. Logout page, you can vote whether or not the game was nice today. It's generally only good for updates. If you like the update that came out on the Thursday, you click yes. If you didn't like it, you click no. That's all it's really used for. You also have a world switcher here. So if you're killing cows, for example, and you need an area where there's less people killing cows, you just hop to a different world. You see free-to-play is these silver stars, pay-to-play is the gold stars. You see the region in which the server is, the amount of people online, and some worlds have specific events going on inside. So if you're doing a pay-to-play boss called the Winter Todd, you would go on this world to kill him. Other things such as if you're running rune crafting, you go to this world for the Orion Outlet. So they all have like different benefits for going to these worlds. And then of course you log out. Okay. So I'm not sure how this looks on mobile. I expect a lot of these options have disappeared. I'm guessing that mobile users have audio, so I'm going to talk about this. So you can change the audio in the game here with the sliders. Chat, I think you can do this on mobile as well. If you have the option, it's very beneficial to turn on split private chat here. Because when, for example, you know when I talked to my friend earlier, like here, the chat goes above the box here. If I didn't have that, the chat would go in here. So you can see like friendly private messages here, people logging in and out as well. If you tick that, I turn that on. Another thing you'll have is certain notifications. So if you get a really good drop on the floor, it will tell you in the game chat when you get it. Just in case you're scared of like missing stuff. If you go to this tab, you click this, you can change the amount of money needed for the notification to pop up in the chat. Same, you can, if it's untradeable loot, you can turn it on as well. If you're killing bosses, you can filter it or unfilter it. And this one, so this is 30k, right? So drop item warnings is, say if I take off my plate body and I go to drop it, it's going to be like, are you sure you want to drop it? You can change this with that last setting. No, I don't want to drop it, by the way. Let's put it back on. That's what you can do with that. And of course, there's another display name thing here. I don't know why they have it in two tabs. This was here before they introduced this tab. Ignore used to be here. So that's that. So you have accept aid here. And this is a weird one. It's like one of the teleports in here is called Tele Other. I'm trying to find it right now. I can't even see the icon here. Let's just say Tele Other Camelot, right? It's like these star ones. So other people can teleport you to Lumbridge, right? And this option here, if you turn it off, no one can ever teleport to your Lumbridge. If you want aid, you turn it on, and then they can like teleport you to other places and everything. It's mainly for like events. Like Barbarian Assault, you have to turn it on as well in order to like play the minigame and like cure other people. Like there's a cure other spell, so if someone's poisoned, you can cure the other player for them, and they have to have this on. So it's a very weird one. It's not really used, but if you ever have to come around where it says, if someone says, oh, your aid's not on, by the way, this is the button that they're referring to, if you're wondering. You have your run button here, which can also be turned on and off here. The house is pay to play, so I won't go into it. And then you have your bond pouch once again. And you can see your bonds on the account. You can also buy bonds. You can sell the bonds for money on the Grand Exchange if you're really money hungry. This tab here, I'm not sure what this looks like on mobile either, so I'm just going to talk about these two options because you for sure will have these on mobile. So player attack options. So this is for the wilderness. I generally just have this hidden because I never PvP on this account whatsoever. On any accounts, I never PvP, so I turn it off. It stops you from accidentally skulling on people in the wilderness. There are things called skull tricks where people will attack you, run away, you try to attack them back, and then you get skulled and you lose all your items. So I just don't bother attacking back. I don't worry about losing any items whatsoever, so I just hide it. And then the NPC attack options. So you can change it to depends on combat levels. So if something's a higher combat level than you, say the this woman right here, say she was level 103, I'd have to right click her and click attack. I'd have to right click. I could not left click attack her. And that's what that one does. And then you have always right click. So like for instance, now I even have to right click to attack her. You have left click when available. So I can just left click her. If something's a higher combat level than me, I can just left click it and I'll attack it. And then you have hidden. So I can never attack anyone whatsoever, ever. But you have your emote slots. You can just dance and do a bunch of stuff in the game. All these are unlocked with events and stuff. Halloween events, all that sort of jazz. Just keep playing until like season events come around and you'll unlock these in no time. You can still unlock every single emote in the game. These are unlocked from doing the Stronghold of Security. These are unlocked during a quest. You can actually still use them on free to play even though it's a pay to play quest. And then you have a skill cape one if you wear a skill cape. And then you have the music here, which is, I think the music in RuneScape is very, very beautiful. You can listen to it. You'll have a jolly good time. Players returning probably won't want to listen to it because they'll already have heard it a lot in the past. But the game has some pretty nice music. If you've not heard it before, definitely give it a go and see if you like it. I don't know. There's generally an easier way to play this. There used to be a playlist in RuneScape 3, but not anymore. So you could just like have it play random songs instead. But yeah, make sure you listen to the music. And that's everything in the interface. I can't believe it took me 40 minutes to talk about everything in the interface of this game. I honestly, I don't know how. So I'm going to have to make a separate video explaining all the skills in the game as well. So that'll probably be tomorrow's video. So yeah, this is the interface. Quickly mention, you got hit points up here, prayer, run energy. This is just my client showing me this. You will not see this, so don't you worry. And you have the world map up here as well. And you can search for stuff. And then quickly, there's your report button. If you want to report people. If you want to see if people are trading you, here you go. If you want to see your clan chat, if I turn it on, there's that. And if you want to see your public chat, there's that one too. So you can change all these if you want it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I didn't expect the video to be this long, but it did. And I appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope to see you some other time. If you found this helpful, please let me know in the comment section down below. It's going to be pretty long. And if you come across the tutorial and find it helpful, let me know. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, you can contact me on Twitter @Swo6 if you have any questions.